Finally, after months of anticipation, Midjourney has released their very own Inpainting feature. This is highly anticipated. Now, if you're not familiar with Inpainting, this is essentially the ability for AI to edit an image by filling in or altering a part of the image selected by the user. Basically, it's magic. Now, we first saw this technology all the way back when DALL-E 2 released, and we got less than great results in general. However, it has got much better over time, with many AI companies and websites implementing their very own tech. If you want my humble opinion, Adobe has created the best Inpainting so far with generative fill that's available in their Photoshop beta. This Inpainting was actually so good it made me switch to Photoshop to create all of my thumbnails. With brief context now in hand, it's time to turn our attention to Midjourney. As one of the most prominent names in AI art, don't you think it's a bit weird it's taken them this long to give us Inpainting? That aside, Midjourney does have a reputation for quality, so they must have produced something good. Let's take a look. We're gonna head on over to our direct messaging with the Midjourney bot. This is, of course, where you're gonna do most of your generating. The first thing we're gonna do here is type /settings and run this command. This, of course, is gonna bring up all of our options for Midjourney. Now we're going to want to go ahead and enable this remix mode button. This option helps make Inpainting possible. And once we've done that, we can generate as normal. I'll do a pretty basic prompt we can add on to here. This is a photo of a lemon on a sandy beach. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and upscale this one on the bottom right-hand corner. And now we have our upscale. Now, after upscaling, a new button will appear called Vary in parentheses region. Now, this button is the new Inpainting feature. But if you don't see this button, do not be alarmed. This is merely a glitch and all you have to do is fully restart your Discord app. And now this Vary region button is going to appear under all of your brand new upscales. And once we click the Vary region button, shockingly enough, an entire Midjourney editor interface will appear on your screen. And it actually just kind of resembles a pretty rudimentary Inpainting. We've got a simple undo button in the corner here, a rectangle tool for selecting rectangles, and a lasso tool for selecting specific areas, and then our prompt bar. Keep it simple, right? So let's go ahead and try to give this lemon a little face. I think that might be kind of fun. Just like that, we'll select that area and type in realistic happy smiling face. We'll go ahead and click this arrow button, and now that new Inpainting job has been submitted to the server. And as you might expect, we get 4 generations, which is a nice number, I think, for your variations. Now, you viewers at home, tell me what you think. Did these come out pretty good? We did a pretty simple prompt in general, but it added like a very cartoonish smiling face to this lemon. Everything else in the background has remained consistent though. You know what, let's see if we can actually build off this same exact image. So we'll go ahead and click our favorite one, do another vary by region, and here we are again. This time, let's try to give this lemon guy a nice Lincoln-style top hat. I'm literally just going to type large black top hat. And with that, we get 4 more generations. Now, one thing I was a little concerned about was the dilution of generation quality as you keep adding more and more stuff on. But so far, that doesn't really seem to be the case with Midjourney right now. This one came out pretty good, I think. That's a nice fancy top hat for this little lemon. Now let's get into the really difficult stuff, which is giving this guy arms and legs. We're just gonna go highlight this entire area at the bottom. Now we're still learning how to prompt this thing correctly, so I don't know if I should say protruding from his body or something like that. But we'll try that out. Anthropomorphic yellow legs and feet coming from the lemon. And let's see if we get anything good. Ooh, it's actually looking pretty decent so far, I must say. Oh, we got some hilarious looking feet. But I think you guys can already tell the hit rate on this was not nearly as good. These look like little pieces of corn over here. These feet honestly aren't too bad in general. These feet look like chicken feet. They're kind of horrifying, but they're pretty accurate. And this guy just had no feet at all. So maybe with a different prompt, this would come out a little bit better. This is a brand new feature, so we're still learning. Isn't it insane, though, that we can just add features like this? Like, do you know how much Photoshop work this would have been so far to recreate the same exact image? AI technology is freaking amazing. Anyways, now I want to go ahead and give him some comically large buff arms. And we can go ahead and select multiple areas to regenerate. Comical large buff ripped human arms. I don't have high hopes for this one. Oh, it's actually doing pretty good. Wow. Oh my gosh, check that out. The hit rate was actually better than the feet, to be honest. Check this out. It actually was able to do a really good job. So you can see these ones obviously don't make a lot of anatomical sense, but the hands turned out really good and they're very human-like. I actually like that they're still yellow and that it picked up on the fact and even gave it a little bit of that same lemony texture. These ones down here I think came out even better though. This is easily the best one with actually 5 fingers on each side, very realistic looking hands, a nice transition with the skin and the lemon, and yeah, that's almost perfect I would say on this end. That's really actually quite impressive. Now this one managed to fit arms and hands that were a little bit bigger, but I think the hands in general are just a little bit more screwed up. Still really, really impressive. And you can see there's no real dilution of the original qualities of the image in these generations, so it's keeping that same quality and just iterating upon it. Let's see if we can't push this thing just a little bit harder. Alright, I've done a pretty complex generation here. Photo of Walter White in a yellow hazmat suit eating a burger in McDonald's. No doubt, guys, there's definitely some problems with our results. His hands aren't very consistent. He's not holding a burger in any of these for some reason, although it is unequivocally Walter White, that is for sure. And I don't know, a lot of these look more like a subway station than McDonald's. Let's see how we can touch this up. So first up, I'm going to go ahead and try to remove this blob in the corner of the screen. I don't like that. What I'm going to do here is just delete the prompt and then press enter and see if that removes it. And you know what, viewers? That definitely did it. Now that corner is nice and clean for us. So if you're trying to remove things from your existing images, no prompt and press enter, it'll do it. So now we want to give them the burger. Let's just highlight this whole area here and type hands holding a Big Mac. I'm gonna put well lit in here because I want it to be like an advertisement of Walter holding the burg. Oh god, that burger is literally ginormous. Why is it so big? So this is where we gotta get used to prompting this thing. Clearly, you know, the Big Mac is just way too advertisey. No matter though, we can go right back in here and retry it. This time though, I'm not gonna let the AI remove so much of his hands. And we're gonna remove the Big Mac and just put cheeseburger in. Oh, this is already looking much, much better, viewers. That's a big cheeseburger. Okay, these all make a lot more sense. However, the images look like very photoshopped for some reason. I think we'll take this one right here. Gonna highlight this region over here and give it an opportunity to redo these hands. And this time the prompt is literally just hands grasping. Also, I kind of wanted to shrink this cheeseburger. This is a little bit risky, I'm gonna be honest. Results are a little bit worse there. Re-rolling the dice with a different prompt. What's really annoying though is that you can't upload your own images to edit, and for some reason you can't inpaint old generations. No idea why. Oh yeah, now we're talking. This is more like it. Still not like perfection for sure. This was a tough task, but I think it got pretty close right with this one. He looks like he's presenting his science fair experiment or something like that, but he's holding the burger, alright? But now we're gonna go ahead and get rid of this because I want a nice McDonald's bag right over here. I'm a little bit worried about this end of the prompt. I think it might put another metal table on here with a McDonald's bag on it, but we'll see how it shakes up. Alright, very interesting results. So it just kind of removed it in these cases, which is pretty common for these Inpainting models to do. But we actually got some logos down here at the bottom, and honestly, this is a really nice McDonald's logo, and I might just leave it in there because it's a nice McDonald's logo, and it's not that bad. So now I'm going to change this location because like I said, it kind of looks like he's in a Subway or something like that. It doesn't really look very McDonald's-y in here, so I'm going to leave this tiled floor because that's very McDonald's-y. We're going to carefully go ahead and trace around him. Leave like some of these lights and stuff. Yeah, let's get this guy in another location here. This is pretty accurate. We'll just do that. Background McDonald's McCafe. We'll just say bokeh. I'm interested to see how this plays out. This is a full background replacement. Alright. Very similar lighting conditions, of course, because it has to follow that. And upon closer inspection, yeah, I would say this is a lot better. I think all of these are better than the original. Some of these are a little too fancy, I think, to be McDonald's. This one might be the most accurate right here, but it says Koch in the background, which I have no idea what that's supposed to be. Let's just go ahead and see if we can clean these things up with a little bit of erasing of these extra details, get rid of the clutter. We'll literally do no prompt for this. All right, that definitely works pretty well. I can already tell it can just remove stuff that you don't really want in your images. Man, these are all so impressive. It's a lot more of a clean image now. Guys, just take a look and bask in the glory of our final production. This is an image that you otherwise would have never been able to produce with Midjourney or probably any other AI image generator out of the box. It's so good. There's lots of coherent stuff. It got the hands perfect. The burger's pretty darn good. A perfect McDonald's logo down in the corner there. A perfect background as well. Very clear, identical image of Walter White holding said burger. It's a silly image, but it really does prove the power of this in-painting tech. Man, I am incredibly impressed by this, and I think that it's truly a game changer for Midjourney and probably AI art as a whole. You guys have got to check this one out for sure. This was our before, and this is our after. Before, after, before, and after. Really quite a big difference. A lot of things fixed. We were able to fine-tune it into exactly what was in our imaginations all along. A true masterpiece. Mwah. Taking a look at some of the examples from the community, I have to say I'm pretty impressed overall with Midjourney's Inpainting. Comparing it with its competitors, Adobe Generative Fill and such, it's definitely among the best. Right here, we were able to do subtle variations on the sunglasses and the clothing that she was wearing, all while maintaining the same exact character and background and overall general art style. And by the way, this one was by Ali Jules here on Twitter. We've got some more examples from Alvaro Cintas on Twitter. Maybe we generated this really cool alien spacesuit, but we want a different character inside. Easily possible now with Inpainting. We've got a quick demo from Matt Wolf here, showing that you can put this guy in a Superman suit, for example, or turn him into the Joker, or even put him in a flowered dress. Chase Lean shows off some more clothing designs while maintaining the same exact character and background, and it's really a wide variety of clothing. Nike tracksuit, black and white dress, I think some sort of a firefighter, skydiver. Either way, wide variety. And it's interesting too, the overall body style of the person is about the same. Julie W. Design shows off that you can replace a car. It's really the subtle little tweaks to images that make all of the difference. This example by Dogan Earl I thought was pretty sweet. Original generation with a sweet Volkswagen Beetle is then transformed into any number of different sci-fi crazy objects. And they're all interacting with the lighting of the scene correctly as you would expect. It's like a direct replacement. Again, viewers, think about how long this would take in regular Photoshop. And I think that these generations are overall better than what you might get out of generative fill. I really liked this one by Nicholas Newbert. As you can see, our original generation was just sort of missing that extra flair, that extra touch to make it that much better, and you can now add that in. So now we've got this explosion, so it actually gives us some more context, a little bit more character to the story of the overall image. That's a really cool example, I think. Personally, I think this is a massive leap forward and a total game changer for current Midjourney users. This is the biggest feature we've seen in a very long time. If you're already working with Midjourney, this is easily going to be your best choice. If you want to fix general mistakes, change facial expressions, adjust poses, you name it, it can pretty much do it. Now that's all in comparison to the alternative, which originally was taking your image out of Midjourney and putting it into someone else's app and editing it from there. Remember, this Inpainting model is specifically designed to work with Midjourney. However, if you're not already a Midjourney user, I don't know if this is enough to make you switch to Midjourney. There's already very good built-in posing and built-in Inpainting, lots of fine-tuned control with SDXL. Oh, and one other really annoying thing, it's all through Discord. I get it, guys. Midjourney has done a lot of work to make this thing as seamless as possible through Discord. But seriously, why don't we have a website UI to generate yet? A lot of you might not realize this, but there is still a vast majority of people who just entirely disregard this technology and Midjourney because of how difficult it is to use. It might not seem like a big deal, but to someone who might be in their 50s or 60s, this still is a major setback. Or if you're just not really interested in tech in general. I think this all will change one day, but it's an important note. Midjourney and I think the greater AI community as a whole needs to advance more towards the general consumer base. Now, my personal impressions of this aside, what does the community think about all this? Are others as impressed as I am, or are there differing opinions? Overall, the community is pretty darn hyped up about this. Just the simple ability to finally be able to select certain specific areas rather than the basic pan and zoom features is massive. The users love that granular control. For the more basic stuff, it's really super reliable, but still there can be a lot of unpredictability. Some community members, such as John Finger here, have reported pretty consistent characters overall, so we can have the same exact scene with characters in different positions. And there are some complaints that we just don't have enough options here. It's a little bit bland, like maybe a circle brush or a magic wand. And more control over feathering and blending different effects of the image would also be pretty nice. The community is pretty happy with the new features that this unlocks, even if, as we can see right here, it still needs some refinement. I literally just put Apple as my text here, and it quite literally made the top of his hat the Apple logo. Kind of useful that it was able to figure that out, but not exactly what I was looking for. Let's be honest, viewers, Midjourney holds very, very high expectations in the eyes of the community. More advanced inpainting and, more importantly, an actual UI on a website is highly anticipated. Yet, reflecting on this enthusiasm, it seems strange that Midjourney, which is one of the biggest AI art companies, hasn't dabbled with this feature until now. Like I said, I think Midjourney wants to maintain a good reputation in the community and is just not going to release any half-baked features. That's probably why the website's also taking so long. Plus, inpainting is very technically challenging. It requires the AI model to realistically generate missing image regions based on text, all while seamlessly blending. Either way, this is a really exciting step. I'm 100% going to be using this feature. It's really well done, it's well implemented, and I really can't wait to see some more of these amazing creations made with inpainting. By the way, viewers, if you have any, please share them to my Discord linked down in the description below. We have an amazing AI-based community. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.